Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my walkthrough of the KSP career. My name's Root Negative, and let's get cracking. We're here in low minmus orbit. This is a little science station that I have created. Brought it up in a couple of modules, 4 launches to be exact, and yeah, I built it here on orbit. Now we've got the science module here. Now my music actually is a little bit loud here. There we go, that's better. We've got a science and habitation module, 2 fuel and resource modules, and then this out here is a little science lander. And what we're going to do in this episode is cover how to use the science lab. Now the science lab is awesome. What happens is when you go and do your science, okay, I've done this already, okay. You see that recovery, if we were to recover this, it would get us 150 science. By throwing this into the lab, though, we get 188 data. Right, follow me here. So we get a little bit more data than we do science because there's some bonuses involved to do with where this lab is situated. Now, if it was landed, okay, if it was actually on the ground when we put this in, we'd get even a little bit bigger bonus. And this bonus grows as you get further away from Kerbin. Now, here's the kicker. For every 1 data you put into the mobile processing lab, you get 5 science out. Okay? 1 data in, 5 science out. So if I was to take this back, okay, we'd get 150 science. Pretty cool. Times that by 5. 750 science from this one thing if I put it into the lab. Now here's the other awesome thing. We can actually recover all of that for bonus science as well. Like once we put it in the lab, it's not gone forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how we go about basically landing. I've got my little science lander, so I'm going to go out into that. I'm going to take Kerman with me. He is possibly the only Kerbal with a last name for a first name. And we need to go down a little bit. I don't know if your mother ever said that. She always told me, never trust a person with a first name for a last name. And Kerman is, yeah, not a common breed, that's for sure. So, Kerman is now in the pod, and I could have also, okay, transferred him like this. Just click on the crew cab, the crew hatch, transfer, and I can, yeah, do stuff that way. Now, I might actually just transfer Kelrick into the science lab so that they keep doing their thing, because I need to get cracking. I need to undock. 7 science per day, so that's with 2 level 3 researchers in there, and you must have scientists. If you don't have scientists, it will not work. So let's just push away here, turn off the RCS, point retrograde. There's what's that? So there is where we just landed recently, and I actually want to come around to the light side of the planet, and maybe I'll land on these hills here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate a low orbit, a constant altitude deorbit burn is what I'm going to demonstrate. Now, what is a constant altitude deorbit burn? Well, it's a way in which you can deal with high orbital speed. The corollary of that, so same thing but interpreted a different way, I can deal with low thruster weight craft using this technique. It's a way of landing that allows you to control your vertical speed at the same time that you're washing off horizontal speed. Okay, so you notice that I'm at pretty much my lowest point in my orbit, and actually here looks not too bad at all. So I'm just going to perform my deorbit burn. I'm going to aim for this patch here. It looks nice and flat. So that looks about good there, okay, because I want to be doing my deorbiting here and getting down to the planet. So let's do that. Now, what I'm going to do is in my descent, normally what we would do is we would get into this kind of orientation where the blue is up, and I would chase this retrograde marker up the nav ball. What this does is it doesn't control your vertical speed. You end up falling to the planet at sometimes what can be an uncontrolled rate. This has very, very low thrust to weight. It's only got a thrust to weight of 4. So that means we're going to have issues when we get down closer to the planet, because as we get closer to the planet, that thrust to weight will actually fall because the gravity will be higher as we get closer. So let's do it, and I'll show you how it works. Oh, actually, this looks like a pretty good landing spot right here. So right now, let me just see if I can show you this in a way that makes sense. You see, this is the trajectory of me at the moment. And normally what we would do is we would burn retrograde and just get it to drop. Now you can see how, okay, we end up falling quicker and quicker. Okay, our vertical speed becomes the dominant factor. What we're going to do, okay, is instead of doing that and burning along the retrograde, we're actually going to burn up here a little bit. What that's going to do is, instead of allowing us to then fall faster and faster like this, okay, fall faster and faster, what it'll actually do is do something like this. Probably not like that, but something similar to that, where you actually cancel out your vertical at the same time you're cancelling out your horizontal. So you get this situation where it's much more controlled. And I believe this is how the lunar lander actually did its deorbit burn, because it is comparatively high, the orbital speed for the moon, our moon in our universe. You can see here I'm washing off my horizontal speed, but I'm also dealing with my vertical speed. So as I get my vertical speed under control, I'll come back down and deorbit like this. As that speed starts to rise, you see how it's going up. I'll then raise it up, see if I can get that back under control. And the angle isn't much. On something like Tylo, you'll be like this. Tylo is nuts. And there's actually a really, really good video of a fellow who tackled Tylo in RSS, so the Real Solar Systems mod, and he had to use a constant altitude deorbit burn to prevent himself smashing into the ground. As Tylo has a gravity like 9/10 of Kerbin or something, so imagine having to wash off 2.4 kilometers per second of velocity before you can actually land. So you see now I'm just controlling this vertical, just making sure that doesn't get too out of control. I want to keep it pretty well close to 1 while I wash off that horizontal. And there will be a nice spot in between the two, maybe a little bit higher. There you go. So it's very, very close to where I want it to be. There'll be a sweet spot, and I might not be able to hit it because this is fairly low in our gravity. Right. Let's see where we sit now. So we're 6,000 meters off the deck, so we've got tons of room here. And we're still in orbital mode, so we need to switch to surface. There we go, that gives us a little bit more of an accurate picture. The gear is ready to go when we need it. So we'll just walk forward a little bit further. Yep. I'm just going to wash off some of this speed a little bit more. As you can see, that it takes a very, very long time for me to impart any change in direction. Our thrust to weight is now 3.9, even though we're burning fuel. So we're 2,000 meters off the ground. We'll just sink down a little bit further. Now the thing about this craft is I need to react a little bit sooner than most people. When you're building a lander, generally you'll have a thruster weight over 10, so you can be like, oh, I need to land now, full throttle. Me, on the other hand, not so much. So that's why I'm keeping this under control, making sure this vertical component doesn't really get out of control too much. Now then, after we land, it'll be a matter of doing some science and then returning via direct descent rendezvous back to the mothership. And this is a very, very good way of farming the science on minmus. The mun is a little bit harder. You'll have to take a little bit more fuel because obviously that takes more delta V, and I think I've left it too long. I could be in trouble here, ladies and gentlemen. Hinya. Maybe I can use RCS to help me out. You see how underpowered the lander is, but it kind of makes it nicely controllable. As you can see, I can fool around with this without going too far off course. Whoa, get on this side of it, now this side. We'll make a nice touchdown if we can at approximately 1 meters per second. And there we go. Landing. Nailed it. Now, if I press number 1, will it work? Oh, thank heavens it does. So, we've done all the science via action group. So I've just gone around and clicked in the VAB and added them all to action group number 1. So we'll keep the materials study, we'll keep the crew report, we'll keep the temperature scan, the atmospheric pressure, the mystery go ×2, and another materials study. And then we're going to get a crew report as well. Oops, we have an existing crew report. That's, of course, we have one. So now what we need to do is we need to gather all this science up. Ooh, go. Now this, I've done a few of these landings now, so I'll collect that and I'll restore it. Now, you need scientists to run your science lab, but they also double as quite good lander pilots as well, because they can come down by themselves. Yeah, we'll collect that, remove it, restore it, and then while they're down here you can actually get them to do all the science that you need. So I need to do 2 more things while I'm here. We'll take that data. We'll also take the temperature data. Oh, we've kept that, haven't we? Okay, so we need to plant a flag. On you, Kermit. Well done. So science landing 3. Airstrode, the only Kerbal with a last name for a first name. I think that's kind of witty. Now, we'll also get an EVA report, keep that, and a surface sample, keep that. Brilliant. Oh, I should have done that. That would make things really easy when I go to leave. So I'm not used to having these technology. I did a little bit of science grinding to get me. Oops. Okay. I need the jetpack just to get on the ladder. Otherwise he jumps too far. Grab. Excellent. Take data, store experiments. Oh. What do we got? Okay, material study we can't do. And a mystery goo. Okay, they were both doubles, so that's okay. I'm okay with that. So we'll retract the ladder. We will set as our target. We'll switch our nav ball to target mode. Hey, it's got to come around again before we can do our direct descent to rendezvous. Let me just get the nav ball in some sort of meaningful orientation. Okay, so that's nearly where I want it. Well, actually, it's probably right where I want it. Go! Someone go! Disable the RCS, throttle up, head towards the target. And that's a job well done. Now, the aim here is we're basically just going to go straight to a docking maneuver and push our retrograde towards the target vector, and that should get us a nice close approach and encounter. Theoretically. And see, our encounter distance is falling. And this is actually a very, very nice place to be playing around and doing this, because it is ridiculous how low the gravity is around minmus. It is awesome. So definitely do this kind of thing here, because on the moon it can be a little bit punishing. You know, you can burn a bit of fuel if you're not careful. And we're actually looking quite good. We've got 341 meters per second. That's enough to actually return to Kerbin, just for interest's sake. No. We need to go this way. See, we're going to get up too early. Again with the too earliness. We'll get it on the way down, which is no worries. So there we go, 0.8. I'm happy with that. If I go a little bit further, it gets closer. See that? Rightio. So there is our direct descent to rendezvous, and we will warp to here. Up she goes. Ah, there she is. And because the gravity is so low, the distances are quite small. You know, if you get within 10 kilometers of your target around Kerbin, you can deal with that. Here, that's still a French mile away. So you need to work on it a little bit more. Now, something else, actually, I'll just show you, right? We're moving with respect to that quite strongly. If I use the RCS, you can see I actually can move the retrograde marker. Okay, this little yellow one, I can actually move that with RCS. You see how I can shift that. You wouldn't be able to do that around Kerbin, which means that comparatively, you've got quite strong maneuvering capabilities here, and you can edit things by a lot. Let's walk to here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it right now, because 40 meters per second is a lot for this little craft to work on. Let's just burn here. We'll wash off a lot of that speed, because right now I'm actually getting into an orbit. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing it in such a way that's going to get me my rendezvous. Just going to be a little bit further down the track. Okay, we'll walk to here now. See it just coming up. We're just making gradual corrections because I don't want to have to do it all at once. Takes much longer. Like the time required is a great deal longer. But this is the foolproof method. Now I made a design decision with my little lander here. Oh, you see that I've just hit orbit actually. I made a design decision, and I didn't put solar panels on this. I also cut down on the engines, the fuel, everything was very, very limited. Now, there's plenty of fuel in this thing. I'm actually driving fairly inefficiently. Like all the monkeying around I did with landing and everything, that could all be better. What we'll do is we'll just get that back over there. Okay, and we'll keep closing in. Nearly there. Well, 200 meters. Nearly there. 100 meters. Brilliant. Now, I need my little docking alignment indicator. I'm actually going to aim for this one. I'm going to control from here. It's always a good idea to do that before you dock. That way you know that you're controlling it from the right way and you've got the right docking port selected. Now, where do we want to go to? We want to go to here. I'm actually going to hit the station if I don't do something. Nope, this way. And as I said, RCS pretty powerful for this this situation. So right now I'm not in a good spot really orientation wise, but we'll fix that right now. So what we need to do is we need to go backwards with respect to the craft. We'll also rotate so that our door is facing up. Just makes it easy for manoeuvring those Kerbals around and also for clicking. So, here we go, excellent. We will get that sorted nicely. Okay, so you can see how that green arrow, that green thing is now turned... Oh, the... Oops. Just need to stop talking for a second. Right, see how that green line is now green? And it was red before? That means I'm clear, basically. I'm clear of the craft and I can now start maneuvering. Before I was actually in line with kind of up here, so if I went sideways I was going to knock into it, hence why it was red. So all I need to do now is maneuver sideways, and actually I could probably come forward a bit with my velocity, start closing that gap as I translate sideways. Now I'm very happy to report that this is the 4th time, well, I'm not happy to report, this is the 4th time that I've attempted to record this video, and so far this one's going to work out. The other 3 didn't, for various reasons, including crashing actually. I crashed once. God, Chatterer. Yes, Kerman, you're nearly there. Oh, something I need to mention. This is going to be a long-term mission. This isn't going to be over tomorrow. This mission is going to stay here for quite a few years, I would suspect. We're going to generate 7 science per day, every day that it's out here, and we have a lot of data to work on. So every time, I'm just going to keep it full basically. Keep the science lab full of 500 data, and then it's going to just keep chugging through that science for me, keep generating 7 science per day. I need to come back and obviously transmit it back every now and again. And I could actually set a Kerbal alarm for that, which I might do. We just need to back off the speed a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Newton is a wonderful thing. So, we have our thing docked now, which means we just need to get the science. Wait, I don't think I selected the right one. Where's Kerman? Here's Kerman. It's Kerman. After he takes all of this data, he's going to let go. He's going to turn on his RCS jetpack, and up he goes. Grab it. He's grabbed it, but he's half in the wall. Never mind. Cannot board a full module. Damn. Store the experiments. Oh dear. I hope the Kraken doesn't get him. Okay, we'll have to go around the other side of this module here. And get in the crew module. Oh, stop. Okay, in. Grab. Board. Wonderful. So now, if we come here and have a look at this, we'll see that we've now got some extra science reports. And there's this little context here that's popped up. So, process and lab module. So, if I so decide, and you can probably disappear now. If I so decide, I can press this button, and I can add it to the lab's store of data. Now, it's got 90 spare. That's 62. That's 75. Might go with that. And you see that all of these new ones, you can now add to what we have already. So we're going to add... Actually, we could add the one... This one? No. Where's the one that was 50? So I want it full. Okay, so we just press process. What it does is it prepares it, it uses electric charge, and then once it's done, it adds it to the data here. So we'll just wait for that to happen. Boom. See that? 460 data. Now, I need to go spinning through here, because I reckon there was one for 30. Here we go. So we'll process that. See that that's much quicker, because it's much smaller. This is actually going to generate 8 science a day now. Oh, 8.6 science. Back the truck up. Now, what? Oh, it's my bloody calendar going off. Now, what I can do, right, is the experiments that I put into the lab, I can transmit them back, because I'm going to get that science now. All right, so that's starting the transmission. Up goes the data. Boom, 40 science. We'll keep that because I want to recover these for maximum gains. We'll keep that, because I'll wait until there's room to put them in. Keep that, and I will transmit that one. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you use the science lab, and it's been great fun. This is going to be a cool mission to come back to, you know, periodically. Every now and again, I'll return to this this little space station. I'll do another landing. I'll pick up some more science. I'll bring it back, and I'll get the research going. But until next time, thank you very much for joining me in the Kerbal Space Program walkthrough. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.